Alright.
Yes, so we are live for the first
Yes,
semi-final.
welcome back, guys. This is the LoL India Champions Cup
As you
semi-final
wish.
1. We have been waiting for a week for this match to start between Natkhat Launde and Red Viperz Gaming. I have with me my co-caster Naveen. What's up, Naveen? How are you doing?
Doing good. So this is a very interesting game. I mean, you have been told that Natkhat Launde is one of the biggest sides of India, and they are currently the favorites going into this semi-final versus
Yes.
the Bangladeshi team, incidentally, who has two Indians playing for them as international tournaments.
Yes, very interesting. Yeah, so Natkhat Launde is our Indian team and Bangladesh. RVX is a traditional Bangladesh team, but however, they are playing with two Indian veterans in the bot lane in Brutality and Frost. And we had a poll, Naveen, like a few days ago when we asked, okay, who's gonna win this matchup, and unanimously Natkhat Launde were the ones who came out on top. Now, this could primarily be because they showed a good showing without their top laner last week, where they played against Ignite Esports and still came out 2-0, whereas RVX kind of got a bye because their opponents gave a walkover. Having said that, it's not like, okay, just because they're the favorites does not mean they're going to win it.
I
I
mean,
don't
this
think
is
it's
the
going to
thing,
be
right?
3-0.
When you go in as favorites, you have.
I'll be funneling.
At the same time, I think you tend to get a bit cocky. Whereas right now, what's happening going in the minds of Red Vipers.
Right, red side. Natkhat is red side.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Red Vipers probably know that they are not favored to win, so they have more to prove, and I think that will be the driving force sometimes behind a possible upset. And I don't know, I feel like so.
I mean,
So shall we take sides, Bishi? I'm gonna.
Who dares defy my will?
no, that definitely makes sense, and I agree with you because the onus is on Natkhat Launde because they're the favorites. The pressure to win is kind of on them. Having said that, Red Vipers is formed of a team that probably has the most experience combined individually of any team so far. And before we do anything, let's just move on to quickly to picks and bans. And you can see Tryndamere was banned out for Natkhat Launde. The top laner Panda, who's currently on this IGN, but Wapiskal is a beast on that player, and he split pushes a lot, and that is gladly banned out, as is the Brand and the Heimerdinger, which are target bans towards Savan Commander who plays those mages in the bot lane. On the red side, however, you see the Nocturne ban, which is a standard pick at this point, as well as the J4 ban, because Forest in the entire tournament has primarily played J4, J4, J4. So that's basically a ban coming out at him. And a Morgana is always going to be a respect ban against Frost, because Frostmourne is known to be the best Morgana in India, probably the subcontinent, and it's just a respect ban coming out. But having said that, Naveen, first pick Aatrox, what do you think about that? Aatrox in the current meta and first pick, that's actually pretty good, right? Coming out there from Red Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see if this is gonna be a Aatrox top or an Aatrox mid, because
It'll definitely be an Aatrox mid, because I have seen Shiki, their mid laner, playing Aatrox quite a bit. So I'm 100% positive that they've picked it out for the mid lane. Having said that, we don't know if they have something up their sleeve and they can play that in the top lane too. Again, Forest ends up taking Gragas. These are his traditional picks since the last 2 years, right? J4 and Gragas have been picks that Forest has relied on a lot to win out tournaments, and even now, I think he seems quite comfortable. It also does well against the Kindred, actually, because he can simply ult the Kindred out of his ultimate. So that actually is a good
not
pick.
just the Kindred. You can technically, I mean, argue the entire team away from the ultimate, and
Yeah,
can really be a cock block in the terms of Kindred, because and
definitely.
Kindred's gonna have a difficult early game as well, because I feel like Gragas has kill potential on the Kindred as far as my experience goes and from what I've seen. So an interesting pickup on the Braum as well, which is a very good counter pick versus that
Yes,
Misfortune.
versus the MF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they saw that Brutality picked Misfortune, and he's played a beast of Misfortune, especially in the game against Storm Raiders when I was a part of. He actually carried the game quite a bit.
You're
So
duller than
actually
a
good
broken
response to that. And
sandwich.
you have noticed that Frost so far has not picked his support, and that's something he has done a lot. He generally waits for counter picking his support. Having said that, because Braum, a strong support, has been picked out by Synth, they can now choose to target ban Frost and remove the champions that, like, just are
Yes, so
annoying
I
to
mean,
deal against,
not
especially with the
maybe
Tom
he might just
Cross.
be a support, but he ensures that he supports and protects his team, and also he's very aggressive in lane. I mean, he's the one that puts brutality ahead, and then secures the win for them in the early game. So
I
it's
mean,
gonna be
that's very true. And the thing with Frost is that not only is
Back to
he
sleep then.
strong in communication. He is the primary shot caller. I would assume in every team that he was part in, Frost was the primary shot caller. I think even in RVX, Frost is the shot caller. So all the rotation and the macro that you see that RVX brings out is mostly because of the years and years of experience that Frost has playing for top teams like EDX, Tyranny, OG, so on and so forth. So, that's what he brings to the table, and he himself has a very big support pool that does not really get affected by anyone banning him out, and he always prefers to get the counter pick so that he does well in lane. He knows what to take. Having said that, the Tomkins, the Janna have been banned out, and Braum is pretty strong right now because of how he also blocks MF. And on the top lane, you do see that it's going to be the Mundo that might be coming out for Batwa Wapiskar aka Panda. So he's not going to play a traditional carry, he's going to play a tank, but it's also a very strong tank in the current meta. So I'm quite interested to see how that plays out. On the other side, you do see that the Kennen has been picked up from Seeker. Now that's something we were not really expecting considering what all he's played. His Riven was still open, but I'm guessing he chose not to take it. Kennen is a very, very strong pick, but in a way, Kennen ult into a Kindred ult, I somehow feel as if that synergy or that counter engage might not work out for them.
I mean, this is a classic example of, I think, for me, at least from a draft point of view, I don't know how the game will pan out, but from a draft point of view, I feel like Natkhat Launde might have shot themselves in the foot because you already had, because right now they are very they are an ultimate dependent team. You have the Misfortune ultimate, the Kennen ultimate, and Leon, and with a Kindred on the enemy team who basically negates all of that with a well-timed ultimate. I just don't know whether this is a smart move.
No, the thing is that it's actually a pretty good move in the sense that they are gonna take a super tank right now that can pretty much hold off just about anyone. I am a little worried about that Kassadin pick though. Is that the counter that they have to Shiki? Like against an Aatrox, my friends, Aatrox is going to absolutely shit on the Kassadin in the early game. There's not much he can do, just power farm and surprise. Even his Q and the magic shield that he gets is not going to do anything else to Aatrox. So I'm not sure what the reason was behind that pickup, but I am not like now that you said it, now that they rounded off that composition with a mage who sort of roams post 6, but 3-6 is quite weak against an Aatrox, which is so
right?
strong.
So
early game
is
just not working out.
Mid-game, oh shit, the lobby went off. What happened?
I think one of the players from Natkhat Launde disconnected. It's mostly going to be synth. Let's see what happens.
Of that, I mean, this is the thing, right? If Kassadin can make it to mid-game, he's going to be really powerful. And also, don't forget, one of the most underestimated abilities is his Q ability, which can actually cancel MF's ulti. Because the mini stun on his Q ability cancels channeled abilities. Do you know that?
Wait one second. It just seems that the last pick has been glitched out, and that was not a Kassadin that they picked, which makes a lot of sense.
God damn. I was looking forward to that. So we have a question coming in from Unreal 74 saying, why is the stream frozen? Okay.
No, it's pretty fine for me right now. I'm seeing it work without any issues, so it looks pretty good to me for the time being. So guys, just to reiterate that there was a mispick on the side of Natkhat Launde, which is why the Kassadin got picked up, and that makes a lot of sense because I was wondering, like, why would you pick a Kassadin into an Aatrox? The answer was no, that was not a Kassadin. So let's see what they actually ended up picking, which makes a lot of sense. And this gives us a little more time, Naveen, to just talk about a little more about these teams. Like we said, like now the picks and bans are the same. So traditionally, right, Natkhat Launde is one of their playstyles to win is to put Panda / Empire, the top laner, onto a carry and make him play split push to the point where he simply destroys everyone. And that's what they did when they played against Sunk Alliance. That's what they did when they played against Thought. In that case, the Thought just lost the other lanes pretty hard. So in this case, right, you're seeing Empire play a tank. Now obviously it's not like he can't play tanks, he's a fantastic player, mechanically strong, but to see him play a tank is sort of interesting because it's like you wouldn't expect him to do that. So that's what we're basically out and seeing. Having said that, the picks and bans are resumed, so let's see what that pick is going to be. What do you expect, Naveen? What do you think they're going to bring out in response to the Aatrox in the mid lane?
I mean, I don't really know what I mean, this thing, right? So I would essentially primate to negate a lot of damage and to go really aggressive on a lot of traditional mage picks. Having said that, I mean, So wait, that would mean that Swain is going in the bot lane, right? Based on
Yeah, Swain was always going to the bot lane. So Swain is a great pick for Summer Commander. He is a mid lane mage originally, right? So he's used to playing a lot of mages, and you can expect that the entire tournament that Summer Commander will end up playing a mage.
Yeah, but
more
having
or
said
likely.
that, right? So recently, I think Mobilitics or one of these channels published it, right? After the nerf that they made to Swain Dispatch, right? It feels his win rate has dropped a lot, especially in the bot lane. So we'll see how it pans out here. I mean, obviously, these guys are playing
Yeah,
at
that's
the highest
something
level.
that we will have to see how much it affects. It's also not just that the fact that he has a pick to be taken for the AD carries, and that's how you're seeing it out. So it's going to be the Yasuo that gets picked against the Aatrox. Now, again, Aatrox really shits on like mid lane bruisers as well, in my opinion. And Yasuo is also a pick that will not fare well against an Aatrox in the early game. Having said that, he scales quite well in the late game.
I
And
mean,
Cyanox,
I was kind of hoping that they'd send the Yasuo to the bot lane and have Swain in the mid lane. Considering that there's synergy between Yasuo and the Braum.
Yeah, but the thing with Yasuo and Braum, right? Like it makes sense, but when you put a melee bot against someone like who can't even have ranged poke, it's not a pretty lane to play against a Leona Misfortune. If I'm just being honest with you, yeah, I mean, yeah, they can choose to cheese that and all, but it's looking unlikely. I mean, they would have practiced this, and I'm not sure if they're gonna do that, but it's mostly going to be the Swain and the bot lane.
Yeah, and interestingly, also like another note in terms of the summon spells that they've taken. I mean, do you think it's wise that Yasuo opted for the teleport? I mean, especially after the huge nerfs to the teleport summon spell, and
So the
whereas
thing
Aatrox
is,
has kill pressure with the ignite.
yes. So I think what Yasuo wants to do is very clearly shown with the teleport use is that he does not intend to fight the Aatrox that wants to fight, right? He wants to trade. If he goes behind, he can just use the teleport to get back. So once in the lane, you can use it. That's why it's not a big deal for top and to mid to use that teleport once. At least if you can survive the early lane out, get to level 6, then they can actually jump on the Aatrox. So that is more of a pick where look at Natkhat Launde's pick. I think they want to scale a little. They really want to scale. Compared to a Kennen and Aatrox, I mean, obviously they're not the best late game. I mean, Kennen does really well late game, but Aatrox is strong from level 1 onwards. Leona, MF, strong in lane as well. They're looking to get aggressive, and that's what I feel, because if this is like this game, right? You're looking potentially at Bangladesh's best jungler versus historically one of India's best. The map that the team that gets pushed on does not have any vision to make any sort of plays. So I can see RVX sort of taking that advantage and seeing if they can get a chokehold on the entire map. However, Natkhat Launde are an experienced team. They know how to hold, and I just feel when team fights come, right, like if the Kennen ultis, if the MF ultis, yeah, there's Braum to block it. There is the Kindred ult to negate Kennen, like, assassinating someone, right? So I feel as if it really depends a lot on how these ultimates get used.
I'm still not convinced by the Kennen pick from RVX because of the fact that
I mean, I'm just like,
Mundo
it's
is
just, I don't
traditionally
know.
very good versus Kennen because of his inherent magic resist that's built into his base.
If
Hit,
he's going AD Kennen by any chance just to keep push, I make sense. But the moment if he goes AP Kennen and Mundo as much as builds a Spectre's Scowl, there's nothing the Kennen can do at this point, right? And you also have an AP jungler going, so even if he gets ganked by 2 AP like champions, like if he builds even a Spectre's Cowl, like that is basically he can chill in lane for as much as he wants, because his ultimate is going to heal him a lot. So I'm not sure what the idea here is. Is it going to be an AP Cannon? Are they simply going to ignore the Mundo and Cannon going to dive in onto the Yasuo, the Swain? Swain is tanky, Yasuo is tanky. I'm not sure who's exactly going to kill at this point. Maybe the Yasuo in that sense, because like he might be a little squishy. Then you have the Kindred ult as well to save them. So
he might have to adjust his build somewhat in terms of going for Leandries and Rylai's instead of going
probably,
for the Proto build.
yeah, and he has to build a Morello, or someone has to build a Morello in this case, because if the Mundo and even the Swain for that matter, even the Yasuo, if he ends up building so much lifesteal, you need someone to do like grievous wounds to these guys. So I like the composition coming out on paper from Natkhat Launde. I see what they're trying to do there, but I just don't think it's going to be as smooth as them in the early game for them to take it out. So that's something we guys will have to see. So put on your predictions on chat. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. This is game 1 of the semifinals of the LoL India Champions Cup. Red Viperz Gaming are on the blue side of the map and Natkhat Launde on the red side. Going to be an exciting match to watch, and let's move on to the loading scenes and we'll just wait for the matches to start. Naveen, what are your predictions looking at the compositions right now? Who do you think has an advantage early, and who do you think might just win out the game?
I think I'm gonna go with the Red Viperz.
Red Viperz then. Alright, great. How come?
Because I feel that they have an advantage in the early and they're going to snowball from that, and that the Aatrox is going
Fair
to be
enough.
unstoppable.
Fair
And
enough.
I mean, as much as Mundo is going to be unkillable, they're not going to focus the Mundo. They're just going to end up killing out the Kindred, the Swain, and the Yasuo, and just leaving them out with just 2 tanks. And I think they can be very smart. And the early pressure from the Leona and MF is going to really play heavily on the Swain, and especially after the nerfs. I'm not very confident in the bot lane of Natkhat Launde, honestly. And also, I have seen the matchup versus Gragas and Kindred, regardless of Gragas' ultimate in the early game. Gragas can make a living nightmare. I mean, can really, terrorize Kindred, who is technically supposed to be the embodiment of the nightmare. So it's actually going to be very interesting. And the only chance where I think Natkhat Launde can do something in the early game is probably in the top lane, where Mundo definitely has a clear edge over the Cannon, I feel.
No, the Kennen has an edge over the early game, right? Because once Mundo gets level 6, there's nothing the Kennen can do to kill him. So that's it. That's just the way you want to kill the Mundo, is by poking him out in the early game. I agree, though. I still don't agree with the fact that I think bot lane is abusable. I honestly have faith in Sama Commander and Synth. Like, the games that they have won against Ignite Esports, the games that they have played, right? They have been the carries of Natkhat Launde. It's not been the mid, it's not been the top. Top basically has not been utilized most, right? Like, I think Panda has not been forced to unleash the fury that we have known him to be in the tournament so far. And this series might be the case where he can.
Okay.
But
Vicky,
let's see if.
I just got a message saying download fail, unable to download spectator. The game will now exit.
Oh yeah, I got the same thing as well. Let's just reconnect onto the game or figure what's happening.
Okay, so something went wrong.
Yeah, I did.
The game just cancel out.
Yeah. The game just cancelled out, surprisingly enough. That's the League of Legends bug, guys. That's not even on our side.
Yeah, I mean, this is very noticeable because even yesterday, 2 games.
Yeah, the hype is just before we're about to start the game, suddenly, spectator delay. Let's go.
The game's still happening?
Yeah, but inform the teams that they have to. Yeah, everyone has to exit at this point. So
yesterday there was actually a very huge FPS drop in game. Like, I mean, for no reason. Like,
I'm not sure what the client has caused these issues to be. It's certainly not happening at the right time, but it's alright. We'll just wait and hopefully recreate the lobbies soon. But yeah, there was a spectator delay, boys, because of which this happened. So we will connect with you. Spectator mode bugged out on us. Patch 8.4. Let's go, boys. But hopefully that does not happen. The lobby will be recreated in about a minute or two. Post which we will see it.
So now is a good time for all of you guys to just go to your local betting outlet and, like, place your bets on which team.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hold out for a few minutes, guys. And we will continue once this thing is that. Alright. So the teams are quitting as we speak. Yeah, just put some music on, not learn.
Sound muted. Sound muted. Sound resumed.
Is that the music that's playing on the background?
Dude, why is that happening? I need to ask you, dude. Like, is it cause... Huh?
It's probably going to a central server and then being rerouted, right? That's the thing. I mean, if it was just a Twitch like on Singapore, I think it would be the FPS would be fine.
Are you guys ready? Don't make us live yet. Alright, don't make us live yet. Don't make us live. I'm saying that our voices should not be live. Oh.
Going.
Alright. Hello guys, welcome back to the stream. There was a spectator bug that did not allow us to stream the game, so we had to recreate the lobbies. Everyone had to quit the clients, log back in. Technical issues on the side of the client, can't really help it. Hopefully we'll get back to the game pretty soon. I have with me Naveen aka King of MOBA from Sri Lanka. Talk about the spectator bugs, bro. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, this thing, right? So, I don't even know why we're apologizing to the viewers, because this LoL India Community Cup is the only Champions League where you get to experience the technical backside of, of how streams work. And I think that information is valuable to anyone who's watching, right? Oh, damn.
Yeah, no. Bomai left the lobby. I think it's one of the players. Some issues on that side, definitely should come back pretty soon. So, this is a comedy of errors at this point that's happening, and yeah, not much can be said.
I mean, it's also good. I mean, it's very educational for the viewers who are watching, because they can, they can figure out, like what to get downsides to restream, how to stream, better, and
there's no, it's not the downside to restream. The client bugged out. It's not stream. It's the client that bugged out. We were fine, ready to go at that point. Yeah, the spectator bug was not because of restream, bro. It's because of the client not allowing us to stream.
For the LoL India Cup, say,
As you wish.
don't necessarily reflect the opinions of the organization.
Lol.
Who dares defy my will?
Whatever, but so basically now hopefully we are back in the game.
Conditions, Fishy, what do you think? Like, what is the win condition for Natkhat Launde and what is the win condition for Red Viperz?
I think the thing for Red Viperz is to get an aggressive lead in the 15-20 minutes, so they're able to use the strong mid game on Aatrox as well as Kennen with his ultimate, and simply get a lead big enough that they can snowball and end the game. However, the side of Natkhat Launde, I think they need to wait till they get some items. So generally, I'm always in favor of teams who are stronger early to build advantages. It's generally harder for teams to play in a position where they're already behind, and I don't know, like that's where the jungle intervention is so pivotal.
I feel they'll have to focus on getting that Kindred ahead. If Kindred gets
that's
ahead,
exactly
I
why
think that's an easy win for Natkhat Launde.
I mean, that's exactly why it's very important for Natkhat Launde to make sure that the jungler does not fall behind at any given point, right? So we need him to
By the way, just
make
one
sure.
second, Rohit, I think you'll have to mute yourself because like a lot of noise is coming from your end. Hello, Rohit. Fishy, do you hear the noise?
Yeah.
Rohit.
So I will just make do till he listens to us and watches the stream. Alright. Things should be okay. I think he's watching the stream himself, and that's the reason why it's happening.
Yeah, so a lot of noise like from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
right.
Yeah,
So there
just
was a lot of
the
background
video
feed.
you're watching in the background is very loud. It's coming onto the stream, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Sound muted.
So hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions.
Oh, just wait, just let the loading screen load first.
Sound muted. Sound
Okay, good.
resumed.
Alright guys, we are back with the Champions Cup. We finally see a beautiful loading screen. We've been waiting for this for the last half an hour. Apologies for the delay. Land bugs, spectator bugs, every sort of bugs are happening, but we are live with game 1. This probably does mean that the other games will get a little delayed, but I have with me my co-caster Naveen from Sri Lanka. And Naveen, we are ready, we are live. Is your plan working? Is the first question.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's working perfectly, so I don't see any issues at the moment.
Alright, great. So let's see what the early game shenanigans is. Let's adjust the scoreboards as well so that we are having the right people in the right areas. Alright, so level 1s, I wouldn't really see any of them doing anything crazy because there's a Leon on one side and there is a Braum on the other side. So pretty much standard positionings coming out right there from Natkhat Launde as well as RVX. On the left side, on the blue side, we have Red Viperz Gaming. On the red side, we have Natkhat Launde. Kennen top. Mundo.
Yeah, so
Yeah, then on the jungle matchups, we have Gragas and Kindred. In the mid lane matchups, we have Aatrox versus Yasuo. In the bot lane matchups, we have Misfortune into the Swain and a Leona into the Braum, which is very interesting with the catches that they can make. I have a feeling that if Leona ultis someone and they follow up with that, it'll be pretty good. And you do see some early pokes coming out right there from Seeker. And Seeker has gone with AP from the looks of it. He is running Phase Rush. And I'm not sure what his runes are at this point. He has gone for Phase Rush.
So that he can get into the fight and he's not.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really the most offensive route.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say if he's going AP and AD yet, you know, he does not have AP, he just has AD at this point, so it might just be adaptive or something. And as we do see, both the junglers have started on the bottom side of the map. They have taken the red and the blue buffs respectively. Kindred's gonna make this fight towards that, and I'm looking forward to the mid lane, you know, like, let's see Shiki, has he picked up Aatrox the way it's supposed to be picked up? You did see how much of a menace Aatrox can be when people like Argus and Tourney played it for Ignite Esports and Storm Raiders respectively, but it's something that, you know, it also depends on the skill of the player to be able to abuse the cooldowns and the knockups that he brings onto that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. And you do see some nice poke is being put out, and that's a level 2 engage coming out, and Braum
Flash
has
is being blown by Braum. I mean, holy shit, this is the aggressiveness I was talking about from Frost. I mean, it's gonna be pivotal. This is why I'm favoring the Red Viperz in terms of, because they have an early mid-game composition, and also like, I mean, it plays like that, you know, that's gonna make it very difficult for Natkhat Launde to scale. And I don't know, for me right now, the way it's going from the champ sect and right now with the early pokes going on, I just feel like this might be a comfortable win for Red Viperz. But hey, who knows?
I don't think it's too early to call it any sort of win. I mean, that's like comfortable win. I doubt that's going to be it. But that's a very strong aggressive play coming out from Brutality and Frost. Level 2 who happened, and you know, like, you just see Leona go in, blows the flash of the Braum, so that gives him autonomy over the bot lane. It is a pushing lane for them. Some poke has been returned on to Misfortune, and some nice cues from Summer Commander right there. Meanwhile, top lane as well getting pushed out. So almost all lanes of Natkhat Launde are getting pushed out. Mid is just about even, and you do see that Yasuo is getting a little bit low, and that might not be good. Oh, that damage is pretty much a lot. His cooldowns are hammered down, and he does have Ignite. Ignite is being used, and here comes, and it's a nice flash by Yasuo. This could be first blood coming out. Oh, there's a nice flash there by Yasuo to prevent that, and forced to be going down. That's first blood coming out there for Bomai. Bomai's trying to get the Aatrox is there, but Aatrox has a lot of damage. He just misses from Leona, and Bomai has to get out right now. He does have his flash. He will choose to do so, and he does survive. So that's first blood coming out there from
Leona on for the Kindred.
I think so, but there is a flash on the Kindred as well. She can flash back. Oh, they are going ham on this. They are. Oh, nice dodge there. But that commitment from the bot lane into the mid lane allows Summer Commander to just get a free wave going, and first blood does come in the hands. Oh, it's close. In the hands of Bomai, and that's what we're discussing, you know, like, whoever's the jungler gets a good enough lead. Both the junglers came in mid at the right time, and kudos to Synox for playing that out really well. Even though he did not have an Ignite, he was able to survive the Aatrox burst, did a lot of return damage, abusing the cooldowns of Aatrox, and actually got Bomai ahead.
I mean, Aatrox wasn't being that smart, because I think what happened was when he did take that fight with Yasuo, Yasuo was level 4 and Aatrox is still level 3, and also he took a lot of minion aggro. So Aatrox is anyway, and then when Kindred came to offer support, it was a bit too late. But I think at the same time, Aatrox was taking aggro to kind of bait the Yasuo in, because he knew that Gragas was coming in for support. But Gragas, unfortunately, even despite his flash play, they could not lock down the Yasuo, because he was able to dash away.
And better understanding of the champion. Like, Synox has played pretty decent Yasuo in the tournament so far. Even against Ignite Esports, he was playing the Yasuo. He was actually doing quite well. So interesting to see him do that. Meanwhile, here comes Bomai with another gank onto the mid lane. Knockup does, and onto Shiki. Shiki's gonna be in trouble. He does not have flash right now. This could be another gank coming out to him. This could be another second blood coming out right there. Nice tanking from Synox to avoid getting damage, and Bomai picks up another kill. So this mid lane, this Aatrox first pick, not really working out, and Natkhat Launde seem to are getting a pretty decent lane in the mid lane.
Oh, I mean, this is the thing, right? This is what I was talking about, the Yasuo with the Conqueror. has better dueling potential because of, I mean, in terms of a scaling team fight or one in the scaling duel, like one that's gonna get dragged on, he definitely has the edge. Whereas Aatrox is gonna look to just burst the Yasuo with the electricute, but then once that's down, Aatrox is vulnerable to a counter engage from the Yasuo, who has a better sustained damage.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, like Bomai chose to return gang knowing that the flash is down was honestly a smart decision by him, and he is able to go towards and get the mark as well. Or he doesn't get the mark yet. He was trying to get the mark, but that was getting caught out. So, I mean, strong start for Natkhat Launde, and honestly that works out really well. Top lane as well, Mundo's happy farming, is actually ahead in CS at this point. Nice EQ lands onto this, but Brom's shield blocks just about all damage that they can put out, and Summer Commander is also looking to farm. I think level 6 is when both the teams, both the bot lanes have kill potential on each other, and it's something that like there is a decent lead there, I think 6 or 7 CS, but nothing big enough that it's.
I mean, this is what's interesting, right? I mean, you have the bot lane, which is Frost and Brutality, who made a roam to actually stealth the mid lane, right? And despite that, we see MF still ahead in CS, which is actually quite surprising. I thought Samba Commander would have a lead, considering he was actually lane actually. No, absorbing all of the soul experience.
Yeah, the good thing that happened there was like because Brutality and Frost had such a good push going on. By the time the lane was shoving back to him, they did not really miss out a lot of CS, and Sama Commander was not able to completely reset the wave on the other side. So that actually was a good roam there, and they did not lose much for it as well. I think even in terms of EXP, they are pretty much the same. You do see level 7 has been reached by both the top laners as well. So now I think you're coming at a point where Mundo might just be unkillable, considering that both of them have not chosen to back it and just looking to farm out. So I think even Panda at this point is just looking to farm out, and it's a nice poke coming out right there from Misfortune onto Summer Commando. So laning wise, yeah, bot lane has some priority over there, but is it significant enough at this point? We don't know. Mid lane, however, is 10 to 12 CS behind. So the deficit that Natkhat Launde have on the bot side is being negated by the lead that they have in the mid lane. So, and the junglers as well seem to be just farming up.
The Red Vipers need to do something aggressive right now, because the game is just going away from them, because the longer this goes, and mid game is kind of like a sweet spot for the Mundo. He can literally dive anybody without any repercussions, and so they're going to want to try and pressure something in probably ideally the bot lane, I think, because it's going to be hard to lock down the Yasuo in terms of a gag unless you have the Leona coming in.
Alright, so I think we're good to go. Level 6 is on some Summer Commander right now. This could be a stun coming out. There is no flash on Leona. If Summer Commander uses ulti, this could be a 2v2 kill coming out. Then they'll say they're able to do that. Can they do it? This gets the kill, so that's 2v2. And just when we are talking about how Red Vipers have to be the one playing aggressive, it's a Natkhat Launde bot lane that gets a 2v2 kill, making advantage of level 6 on the side of the Swain to get a catch onto the Leona, who was flashless. They get a kill. That was really well played there. Misfortune ulti is the way. Oh my god, Sins could just die at this point. I'm not sure what that thing was, but it was kind of unrequired. And oh my god, Bomai is in trouble at this point, and he will have to blow his ultimate, which he just chooses to do so. Survives from the skin of his teeth, and RPX finally tried to get something back, but were not able to get any kills from it, so they will choose to simply back out. Kill does end up going to Sin, but he ends up blowing his summoners and the heal of Swain just because they were choosing to tank the MF ult for God knows what reason, but the MF ult did a lot of damage, and they were able to, like, blow out the flash of the Grom as well.
I think Red...
If it's bugging out, like this, don't use Restream, just simply Twitch or stream on Twitch if you can. Yeah. Alright, Mundo is the one getting in trouble right now. He does flash out. Oh, I think he might die if they choose to do so. He's being a little cocky right there, trying to see if you could get the damage, but
yeah, that was excellent play by RVX Seek as well, because I mean, any other cannon and that Mundo would have gotten away.
I think it was a good gank also by the side of Forest, and maybe slight, like he could have simply Mundo could have backed. He chose to come back to hit another Q that allowed the cannon to do more damage, and they get a kill, so that's pretty decent. But finally Mundo gets to back and buy all the items that he is supposed to back. So I mean, now he has blown his flash, his teleport is also gone. There is teleport on the side of Kennen. You could see a bot lane gank incoming, but there is no ultimate on the side of Kennen. It will be up in a few seconds, so we should look to see that pretty soon.
And Cloud Drake being picked up by the Kindred without any sign of contest. I don't think anyone was aware that she was going for it. No real vision as well towards the Dragon Pit. I think in terms of vision, I think Natkhat Launde have a stronghold in the game.
Natkhat Launde do have a stronghold in the current game so far, so...
Especially in terms of vision, because I think they have, in terms of their vision, they have vision inside the Dragon Pit, they have in the bot lane, even in the top lane, you know. I don't think they're susceptible to any ganks as such. So we see Yasuo going really aggressively on the Aatrox. Aatrox gonna fall here in a 1v1. Excellent play by Cyanox.
My lord, Cyanox just 1v1s Shiki on that Aatrox, and here you are setting a message right now. Meanwhile though, this could be a simple gank coming out, and I think this could be a dead since he has no flash. There is an ulti on the side of Bomaye, but here comes Seeker as well. Seeker has flash, he does ulti. I think there could be one death right now, so they get one back in the return, but that allows the Mundo to push as well, so that's a good teleport. It does net up a kill, but you know, that solo kill though, I mean, that was something we were not expecting that to happen, and kudos to Cyanox for playing that really well.
I mean, I did kind of expect that, because in the sense like Yasuo does win, as I mentioned, in a sustained trade, Yasuo will always win. I feel like, you know what I see when I see Shiki on the Aatrox. I just feel like, you know, he's not gotten enough practice on the champion, and he's not playing the way that Aatrox should be played. And also, I mean, maybe it's not about the Aatrox pick, maybe it's the fact that he's giving a lot of respect to Cyanox, you know. Knowing that
I think it could be that Shiki has not yet gotten supremely comfortable on Aatrox, because generally this lane is supposed to go the opposite way, but you have seen Cyanox played it out really well, and you know, like, I think Cyanox also knows how to play the Aatrox, so he knows how to play against the Aatrox as well, and that's really allowed him to get a very good lead. He has Phantom finished. Oh my god, Bomaye trying to be cheeky right there, trying to steal things, does use his ultimate. However, this could be interesting to see. Ignite has been used, and I think Bomaye will look to flash out. Oh, there's a nice stopwatch from both the teams, and Bomaye survives on the skin of his teeth, finally gets shut down there. The nice flash there. On the other hand, though, Shiki is in trouble, and I think he should survive also with another flash. And oh god, that's such a close kill. That would have been a dead Aatrox, and that, oh, it's a nice ultimate again, and Braum ulti manages to survive them both, but I think they both might go down here. So now RVX is finally getting back in the way they were supposed to, and that could be another kill onto Sin. So kudos to them. RVX finally getting the kills that they needed to come back into the game.
I mean, they're really capitalizing on the mistakes of Natkhat Launde. I don't think they really, like, even if you take the Kindred, being very ballsy, going into the enemy jungle, collecting the mark from the wolves, and even you know, Swain trying to be aggressive while they were under the turret, right? I think it's just that Natkhat Launde making some mistakes, and Red Viperz really there to capitalize on it. I don't think it was actually the proactive plays made by Red Viperz that
I agree. And I think Natkhat Launde need to, just like sit back a little. They do have a very good scaling composition. It's not as if they're going to lose out in the late game. They just have to play smart, maybe playing a little too aggressive, but that's how they're known to play, you know. They're the team that will not sit back on the leads and just wait out. They're the kind of teams who want to be aggressive and play aggro. Sometimes it backfires, sometimes it doesn't. This was probably one of the cases where it did. So let's see if that puts them behind a lot. It probably doesn't. 14 minutes and you still have a 2000 gold lead coming out. So that's still very much in the lead. I think the bot lane is the only place where RVX has a winning matchup, because you do say that is a 2-0 misfortune, and the Swain is a little behind in CS as well.
I mean, 2-0 misfortune is going to be nothing compared to that 1-0-2 Yasuo with almost 10 CS a minute, and like the lead is a must with the completed Phantom Dance, and I mean, he's well on his way to an Infinity Edge, and I just feel like Yasuo is going to run away with this game.
I mean, I genuinely think the more that I watch these compositions, I feel like Natkhat Launde actually picked pretty smartly. They have a Braum, they have a wind wall, right? So Misfortune's ultimate in teamfights could simply negate to just being nothing if they're able to, you know, use them out really well. So, and they have a good scaling comp, and they won the early game. So honestly, like, Natkhat Launde's composition seems to be more well thought of now that we look at it in the way that they're playing it, and especially how Yasuo has played. 40 CS lead in the mid lane. He's finished one item, around 1000 gold head. Lead is the lead that he has himself, and oh, there's a trade coming out right there, but not going well for Samba Command, and Brutality choosing to return a lot of damage back to him. And this is the thing that we were talking about. The bot lane of RVX do show that they have enough control, and oh, this could be trouble right now for Synth, and Synth might just be going down right now. Oh, not before he can get Forest as well, and a nice roam by Yasuo, being the first one to make it a 4v3, and that actually allows them to get a kill back, and a jungler dies right now, which is a good thing right there. But here comes Leona as well as this, and here comes Kenneth from the behind. This could not be the right thing that they wanted to do. This nice ulti onto that, and it's a very, very nice ulti, because it does not allow Boomerang to use the ultimate, and they get a kill back. That's a 2-for-2 and a 2v2 fight and a 1-for-1.
I don't think
Really does
Brutality
that,
mind that at all, because I mean, end of the day, Brutality was able to get the shutdown as well. I don't know whether this is gonna really achieve anything.
I'm not sure too.
I think
he's going to die. I think he's going.
Holy shit! This
Oh my lord, this Mundo, oh lord, this is the power of the tanky Mundo. And here comes Yasuo, and this is not looking good right now for Natkhat Launde. That 2v2 gang, 1v2 gang.
I just have to mention here that I mean, I'm sure that Shiki is a terrific player, but I mean, right now on the Aatrox, he's kind of like looking like a bit of a
he's
bonobo,
not experienced at all. It's showing, yeah.
Because
he's not performing.
In back-to-back duels, right? In skirmishes, I saw Aatrox miss his W ability, right? He missed He misses W, and that W is very pivotal because it helps lock down your target. And he missed that thrice. Now I saw that happen 3 times, and I don't know. I just feel like he's playing a champion he's not at all comfortable with yet, and that I think is gonna cost them the game.
Yeah, I mean the thing is they first picked it, mind you, right? This was like, oh, we got the Aatrox, we got the really strong, you know, mid laner who can really do long, does not lose into anyone, but he's honestly not has the expertise that you would expect out of Aatrox from this point, and that is coming to really hurt them, because now the Yasuo is ahead and they have full lane autonomy on the mid lane, and Aatrox is getting more irrelevant as the team fight goes on because he's not even finished one completed item at this point. Meanwhile though, it's a nice catch onto Frost and the stun does land. Are they going to kill them? That's a nice ulti. Oh my lord, it's a very nice ulti back, and Synth is going to simply die. I think at this point the Ignite will kill him, so that 2v2 Freud that was supposed to be in favor of Natkhat Launde ends up being in favor of RVX, and yeah, the lack of experience from Natkhat Launde's bot lane is showing at this point, and well played there from Frost and Brutality, as well as Frost being on point with this Leona ultimates, and Brutality also for doing so much DPS on the Misfortune, and he is quite ahead and he is showing it in his gameplay.
To their credit, I think the bot lane of Red Viperz have done extremely well. It's just that unfortunate that the mid and I think the top lane have not been that impactful as yet in the game, especially the mid. I mean, the mid is a complete leg down.
I think the mid has been a losing factor, right, for them at this game at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is really alarming for Red Viperz at the moment, because a 4K lead amassed by Natkhat Launde along with 2 dragons as well. I mean, I have a feeling that Natkhat Launde might even go for the early Baron as well with this lead.
They got the Herald, so that probably does mean mid will go down pretty soon. And the Herald has been summoned in a very interesting spot, I have to say. I'm not sure what the idea behind that spot was, but that will be the mid lane tower going down. So kudos to them. All the outers have been gone, and all the outers of Natkhat Launde are up. So this is becoming a bit of an easy game, I would say. Natkhat Launde, they have shown and they have come across with a bang. Oh, meanwhile, here comes another gank. Leona ulti will land onto the Braum, but Braum loses ulti as well. But that's going to be a 2-for-2 trade, and all 5 members of RVX come made to do that. And that's a nice 2 kills coming on the Kennen as well as the Misfortune. So RVX are making some plays now, at least you're saying, but I think it's a little too late because they're losing. Oh, sorry, the outer bot didn't go down, but the outer bot will go down now. So now they've lost all their outer towers, and yeah, they're getting some kills back. Right?
So you pick a side that is strong in the early to mid game, right? And then you have this happen where the Kindred snowballs, where the Yasuo snowballs, and this is quite unexpected. And right now, Red Viperz being caught with their pants down, you know, like they really don't know what's happening right now, and I think they're in a kind of a tussle to see, like, I think what they're doing is the right thing though, in terms of they're going for the pickups. They're pick-offs rather. They're trying to, like, you know, catch those who are isolated and try to make their way slowly but surely back into the game. But I just feel like with this Kindred, you know, who technically can infinitely scale, and with the Yasuo, who's a real threat to the team as well, and the win wall ability as well, I just don't know whether Red Viperz have the opportunity to really get back in the game.
I don't think they do that. Just look at the lane CS disparity. 120 to 178. That's a 60 CS lead. Mundo has finished 2 items right now. Look at the middle lane disparity. 56 CS ahead. He has finished 2 items, and Aatrox has not even finished his Death's Dance yet. This is horrible right now for RVX in the mid lane. The only saving grace is their bot lane. And yeah, they are ahead, but against a Yasuo, against a Mundo, when the 5v5 team fight happens, I don't think that Misfortune advantage is going to do much, especially if it gets blocked by the Yasuo wind wall or even Braum for that matter. So like RVX needs to hold off, and now they need to be the ones to get their Aatrox ahead, because now the owners and game is completely, the control of the game is completely in hand of Natkhat Launde, and you can see that in the blue side of the vision. They have their wards as well. They are hovering around the mid and the top side of the map. Mundo is pushing bot, and I don't think anyone can match up. The Mundo has already finished his Thorn Mail.
Yeah, right. I mean, I still don't understand what Aatrox is thinking. Like, you know, getting that early deaths downs. I mean, like a Black Clay would have been amazing at this point. You know.
I agree. He should have gone for a Black Cleaver considering how fed the Mundo is and just in general, but I'm guessing
plus the
he
Black Clay would have
sustain.
totally helped out Misfortune's damage as well, you know, because he would be shredding the armor and then it would help the Misfortune.
I'm guessing he'll go for that. He wanted survivability, oh my lord. You see a 2-man Baron happening, but Forest knows. Forest is sneaky, comes and wards it out, but I think he goes back, he doesn't see it. Because the thing is, 3 members of Natkhat Launde are mid and the bot is there. So they wouldn't imagine it for the world that the Yasuo and the Kindred, 2 squishy champions, are taking Baron. And that's an excellent play. Natkhat Launde are showing excellent gameplay right now. Getting the Baron at 22 minutes, and like you said, I mean, they will go for an early Baron and they get it. And that is going to snowball the game even further, and the Mundo is happy camper on the bot side, just pushing now with the Baron buff, gets to push even further, does not care about the cannon at all. For him it's probably irrelevant. The Moralanomicon also will not help because he's already level 14, 2 points to his ultimate is going to do a lot of healing even with previous wounds. So
I think right now, Natkhat Launde is going to go for a 1-3-1 push. They're going to send the Yasuo in the top lane and probably Mundo in the bot lane with the Swain, Braum and the Kindred occupying the mid lane. And I don't think Red Viperz can react to this at all. I mean, they can go for a pick off, but then that's going to mean 2 inhibitor turtle slots from 2 sides. This is too strong right now. I think Natkhat Launde have snowball beyond any sort of redemption, you know, in terms of for the Red Viperz.
Yeah, definitely, and we have to
if
start
Red Viperz
thinking
get back in the game, it has to be nothing short of miraculous. Right.
I agree with you. This is now Natkhat Launde's game to lose, Naveen, and I don't see that happening, honestly. Oh, meanwhile, you say that Suvo has not had a great game. I mean, he has had good engages, but he is 1-5, and apart from that, the bot lane of Natkhat Launde were the ones who pretty much held even. And kudos to Brutality in first, I have to say, even though this game is not going well, you have to give kudos for them to playing it so well that, you know, they got a lead. There is an Executioner's calling, on the side of Misfortune for the Mundo as well. So maybe try to hold off this battle and see what happens, but it's just looking so hard for them right now. And this could be a systematic closeout coming out from Natkhat Launde, and they can take an early 1-0 lead coming to the game. Oh, you're looking at Forest trying to do a cheeky gank right now, does not work, and that Gragas as well. Anna, we thought a lot about how the Gragas will be able to nullify the ultimate by using this and that. I really don't see any impact that the Gragas has had as well. He has gotten some skirmishes, he's gotten some kills, but honestly, Kindred, Gomae on that Kindred has had so much more impact with the early game invades as well. Getting the first blood, coming back mid, getting Synox ahead to the point where Aatrox is completely irrelevant is kudos to Synox. So kudos to Gomae as well for getting that done. And now he can simply go toe-to-toe, having 2.5 items. And yeah, he's gonna get the bot inner turret, and meanwhile the mid inner turret goes on as well. So the goal lead now goes from like 5,000 to around 9,000 goal lead in favor of Natkhat Launde, and yeah, it's not looking good right now for. Meanwhile, Panda on that top lane simply this could be difficult for Samba Commander. Does dash out a nice Kindred ulti to prevent the damage. It's a nice MF ulti as well, but that's actually very good. They get 2 kills back, but they're going to do something as well. They are doing Yasuo taking a lot of damage. I'm not sure this is a fight that we want to win at this point, but they get 2 kills back and they are so ahead. This goal lead, Mundo being so fed, even with such a great engage, RPX are losing and they straight up get aced. This could be game, a 25-minute game coming out right there.
I mean, technically, like, I mean, this is just child's play for them at this point.
Yeah, Natkhat Launde, this is like a statement being made by Natkhat Launde. You know, like we are here to play, and I think MVP of this match has to be Gomae and Yasuo. Sorry, Gomae and Synox on the Kindred and Yasuo. So getting the snowball done, and even like Panda for that matter to do so much that he did, you know, to get the lead ahead. So kudos to them. They chose to not end it, surprisingly enough. I think they could have, but the lower dead timers mean that it's not the right thing. I almost thought they'll do it, like they didn't.
I mean,
but
they could have
okay.
ended it technically. They could have ended it.
I guess they wanted to be doubly safe, just make sure that like it's fine. That was a very good engage from RVX and probably the best they can expect at this point, but it was not enough because of how ahead Natkhat Launde are. If that same engage happened with maybe like equal goal lead, RVX would have won that straight up because Mundo would not have been so tanky, Yasuo also would not have been so fed. But because of how ahead the mid and the top were, they were able to simply win that even with the 3v5. And we'll have to wait a little more before we see the end game goes on. I'm not sure what Natkhat Launde looking for. They should just simply go to run it down mid at this point, get the Nexus turrets and end it off, but not sure what they're wasting the time on at this point. Maybe they just want to be extremely sure about the game, not make any mistakes. Note that flashes are down.
What they think is like, I think what was going on in the heads of Yasuo and the rest of the team was that we do have a disconnect coming from Red Viperz and also from
Summer Commando.
Yeah, Summer Commander, and I think what was going on in the minds is, I think there would have been some pings coming in from the Brom and the Swain, saying, hey guys, don't end yet. We also want to be there for the family photo, and I think that's what actually went on. Just my speculation.
Probably, yeah. And I mean, right now they're choosing to push the top lane tower. The Baron is not in their hands, so I'm not sure what their intention is to do at this point. So.
I just hope that we'll see some smarter drafts coming in from Red Viperz and not maybe going for the first pick Aatrox. I mean,
to be honest, like Aatrox should have won that matchup, right? If Aatrox was ahead in that matchup, Kennen was pulling out more poke, they could have done. But just the way that Shiki played that Aatrox was not impressive at all. And honestly, like that is the reason why they lost this game. If I have to pick one reason why, it's because the mid lane. First pick Aatrox, as we were so happily thinking, did not work out at all in favor of Red Viperz, and that basically netted them like nothing. Yasuo got so ahead, and like Sanox is farming at more than 10 CS a minute right now. He has 3 items, his crit items are done. He's going to hurt bad. And Mundo is just unkill. I'm not even sure, even if 5 people of Natkhat lost or Red Viperz try to kill the Mundo, he's gonna die at this point. So I think they're looking at a systematic shutdown at this point. They want all the inhibitors. And that could be it.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Kennen is a good addition to the team in terms of an engager, but then I just feel like what they're missing is a traditional mage as well in the team fights.
I mean, they might have, but it's just the way Natkhat Launde played is just so much better than the way that they played. And this could be game, boys. Game 1 going in favor of Natkhat Launde. They will take the series 1-0, guys. We will come back with match 2 in a few minutes. And honestly, great start there from Natkhat Launde. Like, yeah, we were expecting them to be the favorites at this point, but they played this game really, really well.
I mean, I'm honestly disappointed because I actually thought that RX are going to win this first match based on the draft, but then I think Natkhat Launde showed us that they played their strong champions. They understood that how the matchup was played, and I think they were very smart in acquiring the lead and just holding on to it and making RVX pay for it.
Look at the damage in the game. It was MF who did almost all the damage on the side. So damage was not lacking. It's just the execution maybe on the side of Red Viperz Gaming. Hopefully they will return in game 2. They are playing on the red side this time. They might have the counter picks ready for them. So I'm 100% expecting some changes to be made. And remember that this is a best of 5. So game 1 is great, but that doesn't mean the end of things. It's also on how these teams adapt and change their pick and bans coming in. So we'll be back in a few minutes, guys, with game 2.
Obviously live.
Microphone activated.
Put on the music, bro.